Well, hello, you glorious humans of the interwebs, and welcome to some Red Dead Online stuff. Today we're going to be discussing the future of Red Dead Online, a lot of things that have been discussed for the summer's update, as well as some speculation into some of the things Rockstar has stated very recently, which is very exciting and has me extremely excited for the future of Red Dead Online. They're definitely beginning to lean away from the PvP-centric gameplay that they've had throughout the beta, and it's really nice to see that they want to actually take advantage of the players' want for being able to create a very distinct character and have these role-playing environments. I think they're seeing the success, the pure unadulterated success of GTA RP right now and how many sales that is making. If they can capitalize on the success of GTA RP, but put it in Red Dead Redemption and not have it a mod and make it actually a game that people want to pay for and play constantly online with updates, is absolutely amazing. So I think they're really seeing the success that modding has had with Grand Theft Auto 5, and they're going to start leaning more towards this role play and creating your own character within this wonderfully immersive world. And they've said this a few times. We're going to get into that into this video. Now, tomorrow, we do have an update for Red Dead Online. It's going to bring new stranger missions, clothing for both PS4 and Xbox, and apparently we're supposed to get some PS4 early access content. Now, this was supposed to be announced on the PlayStation blog, but for some strange reason, I've not seen anything. I check a couple times a day, and I haven't seen anything regarding the new content for the 21st for PlayStation early access. So tomorrow, definitely keep an eye out on the channel for everything that is new to Red Dead Online, and each and every week I will be posting updates, tips, tricks, and guides, so definitely keep an eye on the channel for all that content. Now, the thing I'm really excited for is the jobs. Now, many of you know, or if you don't know, you will know now, that we're going to be getting three new jobs in the summer: the Bounty Hunter, the Trader, and the Collector. Now, there's not a lot said in the actual Rockstar release, but there was actually an interview with Rockstar employees that kind of goes more in depth into the type of world they want to create and how immersive things will get in the future. And we're going to get into that here in a second. But for those of you that don't know, obviously the Bounty Hunter, I am very, very excited for. One of the downsides of online is it didn't have nearly as many bounty hunts available for free roam as its predecessor, and I was really disappointed with that, but I'm really glad to see we're going to be able to specialize as a bounty hunter. Now, since they are leaning away from PvP, I don't think that we're going to be bounty hunting targets like actual players, but I do think that may be a possibility in the future as you become more of a renowned bounty hunter, because they do say that these are going to be very, very in-depth in the long run, and you're going to be able to continuously kind of shape and mold your character to specific things. And you can specialize in all of these if you want to, but obviously it's going to take time to get all the way down the path for each one. If you specialize in one, you're going to be better off than trying to do all three at once, as far as time constraints go. Most likely going to be NPCs, and personally, I don't have a problem with that, but I do anticipate maybe the possibility of competing for bounties with other bounty hunters. So when you accept a bounty, another bounty hunter can maybe try and take that criminal from you, similar to how stranger missions work. I do see that happening, and I'm curious maybe if bounties will pop up on the map and make it more of like a free roam type of thing rather than having to go to an NPC, pick up a thing. Or I really like if you could just go to different jails, and basically pick up bounties that way. I think there's a lot of different ways that this could end up being really cool. But obviously we have the Collector, which you can search the world for treasure and other exotic items to sell as a collector, or you can be a trader and build a business at a camp as a trader and more. So I'm really curious about this business aspect. I wonder if we'll be able to, as a trader, maybe hunt specific animals to get very interesting clothing that we could sell to other players, or if it's just going to be the type of thing where you just sell it to NPCs and stuff. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of different ways they can do this, but each new role will come with a range of unique gameplay, along with a host of new outfits specialized for those particular jobs. Weapons and other items that we can get specifically for bounty hunting, trader, and collector, which I think is really cool. Now, players will have the option to focus on specific role to advance quickly and unlock each role's unique abilities, or simultaneously progress across multiple roles as you play. And I think that's great. Definitely limiting it to one job would have been terrible. So giving us the ability to do multiple is really nice, and I really didn't expect otherwise. And what I'm really excited about is the fact that they're leaning more towards this role-playing centric world, and I think that's great. Now, a quote from one of these articles, which I'll link in the description if you guys want to read it for yourself. With Red Dead Online, we want to look at what we enjoy about the open world experience. The ability to feel like you were really existing in that world, and you could role-play in that world. And then extrapolate that out into what it could mean when you have a character that is truly your own. We don't want to just pigeonhole you into being a criminal, but allow you a number of roles that you could take forward from the ground up. And I think this is really great, and they go a little bit more in depth. We're trying to take what we think is special about the world and expand the level at which you can interact with that. The goal is to be able to take hunting, collecting, bounty hunting, or whatever much further than we were able to with single player, which is very exciting because single player was very immersive to begin with. In some ways, we have to get Red Dead Online back up to the level of immersion that we're able to achieve with single player. The scope for us to take it far beyond what we were able to do there is limitless, and that's really exciting. And I have to agree, if they can bring Red Dead Online up to that level of immersion of single player, and then even be able to progress that further with more immersive types of content and actually being able to flesh out your character for yourself, is amazing. It's really, really exciting to consider that Red Dead Online could be potentially an even better experience than the single-player story. I'm really, really excited. Now, what I like is basically a lot of the characters, they kind of look similar, and there's no way to really distinguish what type of player you're dealing with. And that's something that they're trying to achieve throughout the next few updates. And one of the quotes from this is, the further players delve into these roles, the more recognizable and defined they should become to other players. At first glance, you should have a better idea of who you're dealing with. Say you're fishing along the bank of a river, and a man wearing a black hat approaches. You know that only dishonorable bounty hunters can earn that specific hat style. So keeping an eye on him is probably a smart idea. Now, this is interesting that you can have dishonorable bounty hunters and honorable bounty hunters. So I wonder, with the bounty hunting system that we'll have, if honorable ones will, go to the sheriff and pick up the bounty, and then the dishonorable ones will be the ones that basically try and take your hard-earned work from you and turn it in for themselves, which is technically illegal in the bounty hunting world, so that would make you dishonorable. So griefing is an unavoidable element of Red Dead Online right now, but Rockstar also hopes these defined roles encourage players to interact in other ways as well. A bounty hunter may have more pressing matters to deal with than harassing an innocent fisherman. Perhaps he just tips his hat in your direction and rides past to tackle the more immediate task at hand. The final quote from this article is kind of what I felt like what's been going on for the Red Dead Online beta, is that the developers are trying to figure out how to actually incorporate all of this wonderful single-player content that they created and put it into a world where players can actually interact with it and have fun, and have it not be a complete grief fest like it was throughout the beta, and they've gone a long way into doing this. Now, they say here that a lot of this stuff that we develop works for single player, but it needs to be reimagined to work in an online world where things are a little bit different. And that's going to be a big focus for Rockstar moving forward with every update, putting in as much new content to interact with as you explore the world to try and get it feeling as rich and in deep as single player, and eventually, hopefully, get richer and deeper, which is very exciting because, I've played the Red Dead single player for, the past almost 7 months now, and just finally started to run out of content. And the fact that we could just continuously get updates for Red Dead Online to create even more of a personal experience is great, I think. And obviously, Red Dead Online had a very, very rough start. It took a lot longer for it to progress to where it is now than we thought, and a lot of us got really impatient and fed up, and I am actually kind of sad that they released the Red Dead Online beta as soon as they did, because I feel like a lot of people might be permanently turned off. Although, with the past week of how much the server's been taking a pounding from so many people coming back, I think that people want to love online so much that it both showed as frustration and just giving up, but I do think people are going to come back and they're going to really enjoy the experience when they finally do. Now, that's not to say that Red Dead Online right now is where it needs to be, but eventually it's going to be. And I feel like these experiences of growing with the online is going to be good in the long run, especially because you kind of build this groundwork and you finally get to create a character that's really personal to yourself and start being able to roleplay and enjoy this immersive world. But regardless, that is all I really wanted to discuss today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. This kind of ended up just like on a tangent and just kind of speculating on some stuff to come, but regardless, I do think there's a lot of things to be excited for in the future, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that with all of you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next one.